right, we are officially loading into the first match. It is going to be Damascus Gaming against Halcyon Dairy.
It's going to be good. It's going
It
to
is
be
going to be
sweet.
a
It's going to be
absolutely
sweaty.
outstanding match, no doubts.
This is make or break, boys.
So from this point forward, as you know, if you've been watching any of the events, man, you know, you're gonna see it happen here. There is no room for error today from any of the teams entering the competition. Day 2, there is no loser's bracket. It is go big or go home. And we are already starting off with Slowdown as the first map.
Neil and Nix holding it. Oh. It looks like North has passed Nix. Neil's still going. Here we go, coming in. It's the make or break time. And again, the transitions of this map are just insane. Look at this. Neil and Nix, neck and neck, pushing each other forward. Holding second place. Slowly but surely gaining lead on North. I didn't see what happened to North. Did you?
I think North ended up clipping back there on that jump, unfortunately. It ended up giving him like a really bad start now. It's going to be really hard for him to catch up and get back up here. But you can see Neil's holding a really good line. Nixotica is behind him by 400ths of a second right now. And now they're entering into the identity. And this identity is really important. That's why the map is called Slowdown, because you don't want to hit this too hard. And we're going to start this one off with an ace.
They're going in big guns, boys. Big guns. Hitting it with the ace. Unfortunately, you can see how North is struggling right now.
Yeah, he's recognized that there's not much you can do with that one, so he's gonna just kind of let the time run out. He's kind of spamming his horn there. And on to the next run for Slowdown. There is a little bit of connection issues. I think it's more or less on my end right now for spectating. I know yesterday they had a little bit of issues. With Team Chloe was having some connection issues. Here you see North is kind of holding a really good line right now, kind of keeping a little bit of a lead. But once again, Neil and Nix come out of the dirt really well right into that bobsled. And we said it before, and we'll say it again, that is one of Nick's specialties. When you talk about coming into dirt, he is probably one of, if not the best dirt racers in the NCSA. That's where you will see him gain a lot of time.
Just took the lead from Neil.
Yep. And once again, another ace.
All about those angles.
Yeah. Nick's putting up that 5.7, 3.79, and Neil right behind. Already starting off strong. The boys know today that today is not the time to mess around. It's single elimination. And these are all best of 7. So you have to win 4 tracks to advance to the next round. What are you thinking of Neil right now, boss? How's he looking?
He's looking great, man. I mean, I'm really loving his attitude that he's got going into this. You can tell that he's working on his control a lot better today. Still, it's early in the series, but you can definitely tell that he's feeling way more comfortable today than he was in the previous days.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that really just comes down to, like, the amount of work that he put in over these past weeks. I mean, if you've been watching their Twitch streams, Nix and Neil have really been grinding hard. Neil actually ended up coming in through matchmaking as a top seed, I believe. He was over 3,600 points. He was rated #1 in North America. I mean, that just goes to show the dedication that these guys have to just continually just work. And it pays off when you put the work in. And that's what you're seeing right now. I mean, the two are just already coming out of the gate swinging. Like, they are not messing around today. They were messing around like a little bit yesterday, but they are both dialed in right now. Oh, and Neil.
Oh, no. Neil missed the checkpoint, falling off the edge. Unfortunately, he's in 4th place now, but Exotica's still holding on.
Yep, as long as Nix can put this first place through, it's going to force a draw unless Neil can catch up if one of the Halcyon Dairy racers makes a mistake. But if Nix can get across this finish line first, it's going to force a draw. And that's going to give Damascus Gaming the track point necessary to win the first track.
Again, these guys, they're just constantly hitting, you know, the practice necessary for it. I mean, even with Neil's mistake, if you're looking at the time difference, well, he just made another one, but that's okay.
Yeah, he
Neil's
recognizes that he messed up right there,
yeah.
but
But even then, at the end, with his mistake, he was still catching up. I mean, he was making drastic time changing.
I mean, that's like we said before, and we'll say it over and over and over again. Like as we watch this event take place, Trackmania is one of those things. You make a single error on a track, and it's going to come back and cost you. Like it will. This is not a game that errors, are not punished. So it's
Agreed.
like the second track is going to be back and forth. We always get that little 10-second warm up, and we're going to get right into this next one. DG's really coming out strong here, but we're going to go ahead and get right into this next race.
We're
going to stay on board here with Neil for a little bit.
North took the lead. It looks like Neil took it back.
Neil came out of that one really, really strong. Let's jump back here to the Nix real fast. Looks like Neil and Nix are both first and second,
neck and neck,
respectively here. You see North is really trying to fight Nix for this second place position. This track is a very, very technical track. It's called back and forth because, as you can imagine, you do go back and forth. They're about to come out of this bug slide, and they're going to go into basically like this next upcoming grass section, and then followed by this, you're going to see that there's a reverse section that I don't even want to know how hard this is to run. I've not even attempted this map yet, but here we see them both going into the reverse section.
And just look at the precision that these guys are able to do while driving in reverse.
Yeah. And you see, man, that we're talking about a perfect run right here. That is what I'm talking about. Neil with the 57.158. Literally within 200 of a second of each other across that line is just up for that ace. Phenomenal.
Exotica is definitely fighting for that second place right now. North is he's struggling this go around, but don't put it behind him.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying Hydro is also putting in the work this go around.
Yeah, they're both fighting. I mean, this is one of those. I mean, these technical maps, man. You'll definitely see it. They are hard to run. And if you are looking, by the way, you'll see that Nixotica's car skin is a little bit different than Neil's. This is actually Damascus Gaming's chrome skin. So if you jump up here and look at Neil, you see like this is actually the regular skin that we run. And Exotica's back here rocking that really classy chrome skin. We are really happy. Shumi Skins actually ended up designing both of the skins for Damascus Gaming. He did a phenomenal job. And Nix actually makes a mistake, but actually gets across the line.
That had me stressed. I'm not going to lie to you.
That was a very, very close one.
Very
Luckily,
well done,
he was able to recover from it. But those are the kind of mistakes that we do definitely not want to see as they advance in the competition. I mean, once again, we're not saying anything bad about Halcyon Dairy. Like, these guys are all phenomenal racers. But Nix and Neil, man, they are one of, like, in my personal opinion, they are the two best NCSA regional players. They've been fighting hard to just continue to go up the Trackmania World Tour ladder. And I believe that Nix did make a mistake just then. I wasn't sure if that was my connection or not.
Nix did make a mistake. Unfortunately,
so now it's going to come up. Let's jump up here with Neil. Him and Hydro are going to be fighting for this.
Right now. Looks like Neil did take the initiative, though, on that initial turn and was able to actually take the lead.
Yep. It's good communication. Oh, and Neil actually makes a mistake there himself. It looks
like he's... Nope.
Nixotica comes up and actually pulls off the victory.
So a 2-1 victory. Good job, Exotica. Holding strong.
He definitely
And
brought
that's
it
what
back.
I love about these two. These guys are a perfect combo. They're constantly helping each other out. And, if one needs to take a break for a second, to recuperate its mindset, the other one's right there just to take on the lead.
Yeah, it's outstanding communication between the two of them, and that's why you're really going to see that this duo works so well together, with Neil being the tech player and Exotica being that consistent line runner. Like, what you really end up seeing here is that they complement each other beautifully as they race. And that's honestly, like, if you were listening to their in-game comms right now, like, you would have heard that when Nick's made that mistake, we've been yelling out for Neil to go and start running that line, and Neil responded perfectly, and then the two actually end up flipping at the end of that last race. Communication is very, very key when you're doing these runs.
North has a slight lead on Neil. Neil's taking it over. I'm not sure what happened to Exotica. Did he have a mistake back there?
I think he made a little bit of a clipping error back there. I'm not sure. I didn't witness it.
I know that.
But he's already back up in second place.
Second place ready.
Here we see him coming right in. That's going to be another
For the
track.
ace. That is a track under Damascus's belt in round 1 already.
And I'm sure if you see in the in the chat right now, both Hydro and North. So whenever you have a skin made in Trackmania, you can also have audio put in for the horn, and you're hearing right now that basically Hydro and North are just kind of spamming their horns. It's kind of a funny situation right now, but they're talking about it in the game chat. You see in the bottom left.
And again, one thing I love about the Trackmania side of the house is it's just straight love between the teams. As you can see, you got Neil and Exotica down here saying GG, and then you got Milken doing the exact same thing. Like, there is no hostility when it comes to the Trackmania players. They're constantly complimenting one another,
Yeah.
and they strive to be better across the board. That's one thing I really do love about this scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different esport, to be sure. I mean, and once again, we're not gonna say anything bad about like any other esports that are like across the scene. But I do have to say that I do love the professional attitude, and like I also love working with Nix and Neil. Like, these guys are just top level. Talking with them day in, day out. I mean, Nix and Neil, like, they always just blow me away. Will be like they'll do a competition like this, and the response is always, "We could have done it better. We're gonna go back and grind it more." And that's just the dedication that you guys need. It's just phenomenal watching these two guys play. And I see that we just got Dimcat, our community manager in Damascus Gaming, just joined the chat. And by the way, welcome to everyone that's been hanging out with us so far. We appreciate you all being here. We do understand that it is Super Bowl Sunday. We also understand that these games are also being streamed over on the Trackmania Twitch page itself. So the fact that you guys are here watching it with us does mean a lot. And it actually looks like North is going to come up and take the first place. And actually, it's going to be an ace by Halcyon Dairy, starting off freestyle. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the chat. We actually just watched Halcyon Dairy pull off their first ace against Damascus Gaming on freestyle.
And again, solid team.
Like, 100%.
They're here for a reason. We're here for a reason. And that's what I love to see.
Absolutely. I'm also not sure who ended up actually picking this track. So if you're new to Trackmania, at the start of every single match, there is a pick and ban. So basically, both teams get to go through and ban and pick maps that they don't want to play and do want to play. And then the final track is actually randomly picked by the game. So if you are trying to win it, you definitely do not want to go to the 7th track, because the game is going to pick it for you. And as we watched in the last NCSA Regionals, as Damascus Gaming faced off with the Canadians, it actually did end up going to a track 7, which that track was Arrow Pipes. Probably one of the most hated tracks in the scene right now. No one really wants to play it.
Really excited, making a comeback.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to see right now. They're going to go ahead and come back for that response to Halcyon Dairy's ace.
What a What a match. I mean, you look at the times again. We're looking at seconds. We're not looking at minutes or seconds. Like, these guys are something else when you talk about it. I mean, you look at what a second, it's a blink of an eye, literally. And that's how fast these guys are moving across these maps.
We really can't stress that enough. If you have not played Trackmania, come give it a shot. Like, you will get a lot of respect for what these guys are able to accomplish. And these tracks that they are racing on are not easy. These are very technical tracks. You watch them flipping between different surfaces as they go throughout the race. The smallest error, and you'll see this as we go around. Like, there are tracks where you will go from dirt to a bobsled to, grass. All these things are really designed to throw you off. And we see Nix right there getting a lot of air off that jump. You really don't want to gain a lot of air time. And they're coming into this freestyle identity here. This dirt is not easy to get traction on. They really have to grab that dirt perfectly to get just enough lift to get over that last little jump right there.
Exotica Neil taking the ace.
Yep, and that's what you're going to see. They did it excellently. And look at this. Exotica and Neil were literally less than 100th of a second off each other on that finish. They were tire on tire at the end there.
Man, these guys, just across the board, it's just so fun to watch them. I mean, you got Neil and Exotica with North, taking the wider turn in the back side. And it does benefit them. Yes, it takes a little bit longer for them to get around that corner, but it also allows them to accelerate more.
Most definitely. And, as Chill King just said, when I was talking about aero pipes earlier, the slowdowns on the pipes, like, it's very, very random. So that section in aero pipes, we'll see if we see that track again today. But that track, the section before you hit the identity, is actually a no engine, so you have no acceleration going into it. So if you make a mistake, good luck recovering from it.
That's it. You better hope that you've got a pretty big lead, so that way you can come out of there.
And here we're
going to see Exotica taking another ace under the belt.
100% is what we really want to see right now. I mean, Nix and Neil, they saw that first ace, and you could really see their racing just dialed in hardcore. I don't think I've seen them make a mistake since.
Not after the first round.
These guys are just phenomenal competitors here. We're actually going to jump on to Neil for a little bit here and see how he's doing right now. We've really been seeing Nix just hold these consistent lines. It's also one reason, too, why I love watching Neil race as well, because as a tech player, he's not afraid to push the boundaries. Like, you will really see... Neil, a perfect example of this, the last regionals event, he was putting up PBs. I mean, that PB that he put up on Agility Dash was just absolutely insane to watch. I mean, this is live competition. And Neil is not afraid to push a different line to see if he can get a better time. Like, he's going to take those riskier runs. And it's amazing to watch. Really, right now, we're seeing Neil and North are really fighting for this first place position. Exotica comes up on dirt, as we see every single time.
Hey, king of dirt, man. Exotica, that dude is something else when it comes to dirt.
Looks like it's really going to come down to the identity here, though. We're seeing Neil and North fight for that first place position, and Nix actually goes underneath of him. If he can hit this, we get another ace.
Are we getting another ace? We're taking another ace. Let's go. First round of day 2 of the regionals goes to Damascus.
It does not, actually, because it is a best of 7, so they actually have to take one more round, one more track. It is.
Oh.
This is a best of 7 today because it is a single elimination.
Fair enough.
But knock on wood here, because I'm not trying to jinx our boys.
So you're not wrong. I just knocked on 2 different types of platforms.
We really are hoping to watch Neil and Nix go all the way once again. They are the defending, NCSA regional champions. We want to see them once again take it again today. There are really outstanding teams. I mean, really all the teams that are competing today are outstanding teams.
Hardcore, a map that I am not a fan of.
Yeah, this track. Actually, go ahead, explain this track to us. Tell me why this track is so difficult.
Well, for one, you've got multiple different terrains. Off this first jump right here, you go right into a sausage roll, which you have to land perfectly or you're launching. Then it transitions right into a dirt where you lose all traction and motion, and then it goes right back to hard. Then you got this jump. I mean, the technical aspect of this. And then look, now we're back on ice, which
Oh, Neil.
Neil making a mistake, but that's okay. Exotica holding on, getting back into it. Now here is the jump that just matters. And Exotica holding those lines, hitting the bobsled. Took it a little high, but it looks like he was able to actually fix himself. Going from grass to
clip
dirt.
a little bit. He might actually not be able to complete. Oh, he does.
Makes the jump. Hopefully he's able to.
He's not. The speed that's going to cost him here. It looks like Halcyon's going to take an ace on this first one. Apologize for cutting off his there a little bit, but as he was saying, this track is very, very technical. As you saw there, that one little clip that Nick's made on that back left tire bled off just enough speed that he wasn't able to complete the identity. This is one of those tracks.
And I could be wrong, but the way that Halcyon's playing right now, I'm almost curious if this was their pick.
So, from what I'm tracking, the last track picked was Damascus Gaming's. This should be Halcyon Dairy's pick. So, we're really curious here to see how Halcyon does. Now, one of the things that I will say, when you pick a track, you're only picking like your better tracks because you want to win on these. But it's not always the case. There are strategies to picking tracks. If you know that another team is weaker on a track, sometimes the better move is to try to play that as a way to force them to not even be able to finish the track. But as we see here, Neil and Nix learn from their mistakes on that last run, and they're able to pull out the ace.
Coming back with the vengeance in that ace.
Yeah.
Neil holding 56 seconds. This would take me like 3 minutes to beat. There's no way that I would have done this. I would have timed out before. I would have to customly build the timer on it for like an hour just to be able to finish one lap.
Absolutely. There's a reason why I am watching and not competing. It is not my skill set to be on this right now.
Neil made a mistake.
He did. So now it's really going to come up to Nix right now, see if he can come back and actually get in front of Hydro. He needs to force a first place here. And it looks like he's doing that right now. He's actually gaining right now on North. Hydro's trying to extend his lead right now. And it looks like Nix just pulled up that jump a little bit better.
Pulled the jump off and was able to take first place. Now the bobsled.
And let's not count out Neil right now, though. If we look at Neil, he's also working his way up right now.
So there's still a lot of time left. I say a lot of time, but when it comes to the racing scene,
Nix is fighting right now, but it looks like North is going to take this one. It is actually going to be a victory for Halcyon Dairy.
Take it 2-1.
Halcyon Dairy's showing some life right now.
They are. I feel like they did a lot of practice on this track, and I respect it.
100%.
Transition into the dirt. Neil is definitely coming back. You can tell that he learned from his mistake. Exotica, there we go.
Oh, and Neil is going to hit that wall very hard, which is going to really screw up his times right there. He took that ice a little bit wide. Now it's really up to Nix to get in front here.
He's got to place first.
And you got to say, man, kudos to Halcyon Dairy. They are really running very consistent lines on parkour right now. Like, I mean, I'm very impressed with these two racers. It's very impressive to see them do this right now.
Agreed.
Absolutely no hate to these guys at all. I mean, we love watching the competition take place, and it's really good seeing guys being able to throw down times like this. We're going to see Hydro come across. It's going to be a draw here. So Halcyon Dairy is going to maintain the lead by 1 point. If Halcyon Dairy ends up forcing one more draw and they pull an ace, they can actually pull this track out from underneath Damascus Gaming, which will actually force a track 5. So this is where we need to see Damascus Gaming. They really got to really dial in here.
And as you can see right now, Neil and Nix are, lining up against each other. So they know what they need to get done.
Oh, 100%. These guys recognize what they need to do. They've been on these tracks thousands of times before. Neil right there ends up fixing that mistake he made last time. We're going to come into this jump right here. And you see that Exotica took that a little bit wider, which actually ended up benefiting him there because he was able to take that bobsled perfectly.
Him and Neil are, again, lining up against each other. Almost identical lines.
This looks like it's going to be a perfect run here. Knock on wood for parkour. Neil sitting right behind Exotica here. Coming in, it's going to be an ace.
It is an ace.
It looks like North did end up making a mistake. I'm not sure where that mistake ended up happening, but he is 5 seconds behind the leaders right now. And he is spamming his horn like he loves to do.
But he finished the race, so I will respect it.
And if you look in the top left right now, you will see that Damascus Gaming is now within match point range. If they get a victory or an ace, they will end it right here, which will end Halcyon Dairy's run for the NCSA Regionals. But
so,
it is not over yet.
To clarify what he means by a victory or an ace, obviously an ace at this point in time is first and second. But if Neil and Exotica take first and third, that is a W in our books. But Halcyon, again, they know this track. They are throwing up great lines. At any moment, it could change.
Right
at
now,
this point
looks
in
like
time,
North took that jump better. But here comes the real deal right here, because what you're going to see is that when Nix hits this dirt, he does it very well. It looks like Neil actually clipped a little bit there.
He did have a little slight clip on that back left
tire. Yeah, and that's
tire.
going to cost him that speed. Neil has got to make this jump. Someone on Hydro here, so he makes it across the line. And it actually looks like it's going to be an ace for Halcyon. We actually have a really good track going right now. This could go either way.
At this point in time, it's match point for both teams.
Let's see what happens here. This is actually getting really interesting here. We see Nix in his zone right now. He loves being on dirt. Neil's on that first place line right now. North and Hydra right behind him. Exotic is still holding that fourth place. They're going into the ice slide here. They've really got to nail this slide. Neil does a really good job coming out of it. So does Nix. They need to start cutting some corners here to get some more time shaved off to get in front of North, still holding first place. You see the Hydras now drop back to fourth. Neil and Exotica are now both in second and third respectively. North's holding a really decent lead right now, but they have got to get in front of him. They cannot have a draw here. If they have a draw, Halcyon Dairy will actually take this track. North is holding a really good line. And it does look like Halcyon Dairy is actually going to force a track 5.
All respect to all these guys. And again, Halcyon definitely knows this track. This is...
Cheese lovers down there in the chat, you can really see that. I mean, they're just having some really friendly banter back and forth right now. And that's one of the things that we love to see about this Trackmania esports scene, man. There's just all the love between these guys. But yeah, I mean, definitely like GG's right there to Halcyon Dairy and pulling, you know, that I mean, like parkour.
What a map. And then we go to Arrow.
Oh, the track that nobody wants to see in front of them, Arrow Pipes. This track is one of the, I mean, actually is the most hated track. No one likes to see this, but the last time at Damascus Gaming was on this track, they did win the NCSA Regionals. That no engines section before the Arrow Pipes identity is just such a savage part to get through consistently.
It really is. And then you have to land those jumps. Everything's got to be perfect for you. Neil and Exotica holding second place. Looked like there was a little bump, but it didn't really affect him too much. Hitting the ice.
I think that might have been a little bit of lag, actually, from my spectating point of view. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's my connection or what's happening right now, but there's a little bit of rubber banding happening. So it's why I usually wait before I say if someone clipped or not, just because I'm not totally sure if it's my connection or if it actually happened. But, man, we really see Nix and Neil. Nix actually did clip a little bit there, but not too bad.
Not enough to actually affect him too much, but the man is a genius when it comes to the dirt. He knows what he's doing. Holding his own.
No engines. They have to hit these aero pipes just right. Nix does a good job. Neil as well. It looks like Nix is going to hit that a little bit low.
It hit a little low.
But now he has his acceleration back. Can he get across it? And it's going to be a draw. 1-1 Damascus Gaming, Halcyon Dairy on the first run of aero pipes. Absolutely insane track when you think about it.
Oh, it's horrible. But whoever did this knew what they were doing and made one phenomenal race in reality. Like, I love watching people hit this track.
Oh, yeah.
They're just something about it. Just watching the technique
Neil.
guys do. Neil making a slight mistake. Exotica holding second place still. Looking like he might get enough momentum here in a second to take on first. North, though, is holding well. He's holding strong. Looks like Hydro made a mistake as well.
He did. Looks like Neil's going to take back up into third place. It's right now a battle between Nix and North for that first place cross. This is the point that you really got to put it, and Exotica is showing how to properly run on dirt right now. This is where he's the most at home. And we're going to be coming into the no engine start right here. We are officially no engines for Exotica coming across the identity here. He's got to nail this.
Looking
and he
good.
does.
He hits it right.
The question is, did North make it across? North did not. Neil is actually... Oh, he did actually. Okay. And we're going to see right there that it is a victory for Damascus Gaming.
2-1.
It'll be 3-2.
There we go.
We are working our way up right now.
Again, welcome everybody to the chat. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. Some of the best racers you can see on Trackmania playing live right now.
I mean, this is really just, like I said earlier, like, this is a day of competition. I mean, we got Super Bowl happening later today. But we really appreciate you all being here with us. We understand that there's a lot happening right now. Again, this is not just being streamed here. Like, the Trackmania channel is also doing this stream. I believe that Hunted and Leechy are currently casting it as well. We appreciate you all being here with DG and showing support to Nix and Neil as they make the run for the defending the title for NCSA Region Champions. Here we see Neil, man, just holding these lines perfectly, and Exotica just shoots past him. Neil's catching right back up, though. He wants to be right there with his duo into the no engines as they come around, entering into the identity of why the map is called Aero Pipes. Beautiful first landing on that pipe, and we're really going to see Neil just comes right across the line. So does Exotica. That's going to be an ace.
Ace in the books. Let's keep this pattern going. Let's keep it going.
Neil and Exotica right here are flat out saying that they are tired of playing on aero pipes. They want to end this run, which I don't blame them. I don't even know if I could even get to the aero pipes, let alone get across them.
So I think we might be able to get to the pipes, but that's about all we're doing. We're not crossing them. There's no crossing.
Hitting that wall perfectly, coming into the ice slide. Neil holding that first place. North is right behind him. And North's actually going to get right in front of him here, but Neil's got a little bit of a better line, so it's not in front for long. But they're just battling back and forth here.
Exotica's shortly behind.
This dirt section is going to be really, really telling, because you're going to see that Exotica is going to shoot past North here. We got Neil in first. Exotica's in second. And he doesn't end up clipping, unfortunately. So now it's really up to Neil to get across that line first. The identity is going to be very, very telling here. Neil, North, and Exotica across the no engine coming into the identity. Exotica has got to hold this. North does. So it's going to be a victory here for Damascus Gaming, 8-3, as Hydro comes across the line.
Well played, teams. Well
We are
played.
now once again within match point. Once again, though, it is not over until it's over. But Halcyon Dairy can make no mistakes. They have got to get aces and victories if they want to finish this thing out. Because if we get another draw, Damascus Gaming is going to be looking to finish this one out. Here we see Nixotica and Neil just starting off very strong here on arrow pipes. They're both coming into the ice slide here. Nixotica holding first. Neil's right behind him. Both holding very, very good lines.
Phenomenal lines. Phenomenal. Neil is just something else. And then Nixotica, he's doing something a little different than I usually see. He's playing a little bit more risky right now.
He is. It is kind of surprising.
I
Oh,
think
Neil does
Nixotica-
bump right there on the right side of his car. But it looks like North and Hydro have actually made, like, probably what looks like a mistake here because they are back by 5 and 8 seconds respectively as Nixotica and Neil enter the dirt.
Nixotica taking the lead. He's accelerating so much on this dirt track.
We see
It's
Nix
unbelievable.
and Neil coming into the identity here.
In the pipes. Nixotica
If they
hitting
can get
perfectly. Nixotica cross.
go.
Neil cross.
That is
Ace.
going to be an ace. Match point. Damascus Gaming does end up taking down Halcyon Dairy in day 2 of the NCSA Regionals.
They will continue on to round 2.
Phenomenal run.